can, but I'm reading every piece. Checking how they cook it, what they use in the grease. If it's unclean meat, then I'm sliding to the greens. Steam in the air, herbs in the pan. I'm chasing that scent like run it again. Played it up nice, then the points go up. But if the floor look foul, then the score get cut. Hey, Flavour Tasters, we don't fake it, we just rate it from the first rich sand to the last clean plate.
Hello fellow surfers, welcome to Flavour Tasters, the food and beverage review channel and all things relating to food, beverage, health, and yeah, da. So, I've got this as part of a meal that I'm going to do tonight, which will probably be released before this, but I want to do this as it's by itself. Actually, do you know what, I'll release it before the meal so that we are doing this by itself. So this is this whiskey, and I don't have a clue how to pronounce this. Laphroaig, probably pronounced that wrong, but anyway, let's try and get this so it's all right in the thumbnail. Maybe so I can tilt it a little bit and then put the thing up there, or maybe so I can tilt it like that. Who knows? We'll just keep it as that. Is it good? Is it bad? Right, this is where. Alright. Is it good enough? Okay, anyway. It's got a cork top as well. And it's Isley single malt Scotch whiskey, 1815, established in 1815, aged for 10 years. So it's got nice smokiness to it. Almost smells medicinal, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's just because I've washed the cup. And it's got like a, do you know when you go into the doctors, there's a aniseed kind of flavour, smell, kind of like chemically. It came off like smoky at the start. It might be a mix of the smokiness and maybe the sweetness that's giving it that kind of aroma when you go into a doctor's or into a like a hospital and they've bleached the floor and they've just like, you know, just like the most super chemicals to get rid of any form of illnesses or bugs or bacteria. So that's what it kind of smells like. There's a clear smokiness and maybe it's a sweetness that's probably giving it that. Obviously strong. What is it? 40% volume alcohol. And again, don't abuse alcohol. If you're young and you're about to hit 18, you know, look after yourself. But sometimes you want to just enjoy beverage when you want to chill. So maybe this could be like a relaxation one. I put a little bit more than I really need in this. But so what I bought this for, because there's another review I'm going to be doing. I've got some food coming with a ribeye steak. I'm going to try and cook my own ribeye steak in beef drippings with 3 times cooked chips in beef drippings, 2 times cooked in beef drippings, and some long stem broccoli. And I'm going to have this with it because I asked the AI, this is kind of a like a richer flavour, some peppercorn sauce as well, kind of, you know, a little bit of a posh meal. What would go well with this meal? And it says this. Now, I've never tried this whiskey before, and I like my whiskies, just, yeah, usually it's not smelling like this. So I'm not really straight off. It was all right at the start, but straight off, I'm not really a big fan. It reminds me, and again, it might just be the cup, I'm going to taste it and stuff, but immediately I'm not really a fan of the smell. Let's try and, but it immediately reminds me of when I was in hospital. I mean, I can smell the normal whiskey, but there's maybe it's a bit more of a like stronger oaky, woody kind of smell to it. Um, just trying to think. It could be the malt, but I just smell. It smells. It's like, again, the best way I can put this out is it smells like chemically. When you go into more so like a hospital, it's like they've properly blasted the whole hospital to make sure it's clean. Maybe it's just something massive coming and they're getting ready to make sure that's all spick and span or something. But yeah, that's the best way. Like, again, chemically, um, maybe it's a clove kind of. Do you know, if you just have clove in water, hot water, and it's just the clove by itself in a herbal tea, and it has that strong medicinal kind of flavour to it. If you don't have like a base for it in within teas, that's why when I put cloves in, I put it in with chamomile, maybe some ginger, something, a range of different things as well, but with peppermint in as well, and kind of cut through a bit of the sharpness of that comes with clove. But anyway, yeah, let's just get to it. Stop putting it off. Spend 6 minutes bloody talking about the smell. No, let's get to it. Okay. Licorice. Straight away, there's a straight off licorice. That's another thing I do have in my herbal tea to cut through sharp tastes for the sweetness. But this has a strong licorice woodiness flavour. Whew. Like, it's the type of licorice, if you put in too much licorice in a herbal tea, that it hits at the back of the nose and it's a little bit mature, kind of what you would expect from a good brand of whiskey. And this, to be honest, is what I would think the kind of rich heads, when they're smoking, don't smoke, but when they're smoking the cigars and they're sitting back, the kind of thought you were like a sophisticated palate, that you're going to get something sophisticated on the back. The licorice, the richness of licorice, but it's not just like a basic licorice. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can get some sweets, and the licorice is, you can kind of get a bit of that, but I'm talking about like a licorice stick. If you chew on a licorice stick, you'll get that kind of more mature wood smokiness to it. So that's what comes predominantly. There's a bit of a sweetness to it as well. Typical whiskey back in as well. Yeah, it's more so a sweetness from, I think, like a licorice sweetness than anything. I'm thinking like maybe it could be like a little bit of a honeyness, but it doesn't taste as thick. If you were like putting honey in to mix it to give it a more sweetness, it doesn't taste like a thickness in the sweet. Yeah. The smell, however, reminds me of like I say, doctors, maybe it's a school when they like just went through the whole school cleaning it with like bleachers and stuff, and it's just been clean as you're getting in. But more so, I would say, like medicines, medicinal, in a like a strong like doctor's hospital, kind of clean down. Um, hits it at like the front, the heat from the whiskey, because it's a strong drink, right? If you drink like a lager, if you've had some lager, or maybe it's even like a brandy or something, like not a brandy. Oh, there's a certain like I forget the name of it now, it's slipped my mind, but there's a certain like soda that has a little bit of brandy in, I think. It's not ginger ale. But anyway, you get the point. If you're drinking something that's not as strong, it's not like at the forefront, it's more so like on the tip of the tongue. The flavour and sometimes at the back. But this, the taste, this is the first one I've had, I think, in every kind of sip that's not just like the front of the tongue, at the back of the tongue, but also because it's still sitting, the actual whiskey is still sitting at the back. It's going up into the nasal passage. I'm going to be a little bit sophisticated. Into the nasal passage. But you get like a little heat here. It's like it passes through here, so you don't really feel, but it's kind of like, I'm not picking my nose. Yeah, I'm just give me an excuse to pick my nose. No, but it's kind of like here, like around the front part of the nose. It's not really at the back, so it's settling a bit now on the tongue, and it still feel almost weirdly enough. Do you know if you get if you're getting a tooth taken out? Because I've had a tooth recently taken out. It's kind of that, like when they put the stuff in to numb, like that they put in for the tooth, and there might be the same with other kind of things. But that's kind of the aroma that I'm getting. It won't be everyone's. It won't be everyone's go-to. Personally, I don't think. I don't think a lot of people would like the kind of thing. It's a scent that I think people would have to get used to, which I think for people that don't normally go for the higher end kind of quality, like the richer flavours in whiskey or even bourbons, for example, if you go for the cheaper one, this will not be your go-to. Anyway, but yeah, when you're getting your, the like the injection, because I had that tooth taken out, right, and they numbed it, then they're like, and all that. Sorry, a bit too much information, I know. But when they put it in, it's that kind of smell. And sometimes when you still got it in and it's known you speak like this, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting from the smell. It's actually dying down a little bit more sweeter now. Yeah, so it's not as strong now, but when I put it in at the start, it's still slightly there, but it's not as strong. It had like a strong, that type of tasty, but do you know when it goes in, you can taste it, but you're starting to get numb, but it's like the only thing you've got left is like the smell that comes from it. Anyway. Now what I'm doing there, I don't want to just do that, right? I'm trying to get a little bit of air to carry the scents, the aromas around the palate, and also the flavour. Kind of get a little bit more coating, because when you go, it's essentially the wind's coming in through the mouth, and it's essentially dragging it a little bit from where it would be when you're going like this. So I'll try and explain it. When you've got it on the front of your mouth, it's sitting more so around the front. And when you go like this, you're getting like the aroma would sit at the front, just with where the whiskey is. But going, you can hear the saliva, for example, rolling because of the wind coming against it. So it's helping carry the aroma from the whiskey. And the reason I'm doing it with this one is because it's got such a strong flavour profile. More so licorice, that's what I'm getting. It might not even be licorice that's using, but that automatically was like, it reminded me, I'm going to try and speak a little bit more, a better form of English, not Geordie. Reminded me of when when not my birth kind of grandfather, but someone that was married to my nana, as we call him, grandmother. When he quit smoking, he would chew a lot of licorice sticks, and it kind of had that kind of, when you open a bag of like the sticks and you open up, it's kind of that woodiness, sweetness, and when you chew on it, you're getting that kind of similar backing. It's nice, and just having a couple of mouthfuls, it's like a chilled. I'm getting it chilled straight away from the 40, and usually it takes us a little bit more than just one cup to get a little bit chilled. But this is it might just be because it's got a heat kick. That's kind of make my brain think, "Ooh, this is usually stronger," but it's actually, I believe, the same volume, 40% volume than typical. In fact, do you know when you make this is a little bit of information that you might not expect from this. Do you know when you do, and I've done a video where I made, oh my days, what's the name of it? You basically put like herbal tea into a like jar. You put strong whiskey or vodka or something like a strong drink onto it. Oh my days, I'm going to have to ask ChatGPT for the name of it. Oh my days, I should know what this is, but basically you leave it for about 6 weeks, and then you put it. It has like a little presser, and it sucks up the fluid, and then you put it under. That's a kind of similar on tea. It starts with the tea. Let's ask. Do you know when you use strong alcohol with, say, herbs and stuff, you put it in like a jar, you leave it for 6 weeks, and then you put like a little suction device thing, it's a glass thing that goes into the liquid, and then I think it starts with the tea, and you press the little plastic part or rubbery part at the top, and it sucks the thing in, and then you put it under your tongue. What is that called?
You're talking about a tincture dropper. Yeah, that glass tube with the
Okay,
rubber
so tincture. So I'm doing a review, and I'm getting a very strong medicinal, which I can't put my like palate on. What I'm picking up from this whiskey that I just bought, and I'll probably go to pronounce it wrong, Laphroaig. It's a Isley single malt Scotch whiskey, and I'm picking up like a woody licorice, not just like a basic typical rubbish licorice like in sweets, but like a woodiness, but also in the smell. It smelled like going into a doctor's, or even when like a school's just been freshly cleaned with heavy chemicals, or a hospital, and also had a similar kind of aroma to it when you get in your tooth like an injection in, and you get that kind of flavour and aroma. What would that be? Because it's almost like an aniseed, I would say, aniseed or possibly clove.
That sounds spot on for Laphroaig. It's one of those Isley beasts that hits you like a wet peat bog crossed with a dentist's office. You're nailing it. That sharp medicinal bite? It's mostly phenol and iodine from the peat smoke. Think creosote, hospital antiseptic, even a whiff of seaweed or old Band-Aids. The woody licorice thing? That's probably anise or fennel creeping in, but layered with clove and maybe a touch of tar from the charred oak. Not sweet candy licorice, more like black licorice that's been smoked over a bonfire. If it feels almost chemical, that's the iodine talking. Laphroaig's got this signature bandage note, super divisive. Some love it, some swear it's mouthwash. Either way, you're tasting the real deal. Want to know if it'll mellow out after a sip or two?
So As AI said, it is always right. I could be wrong. As AI said, it's spot on with what I'm picking up in the notes. So I'm going to give it a score because we've been going on for about 20 minutes, a little bit over with the intro thing. The aroma I don't think would be everyone's liking. Me personally, it's a little bit off-putting at the start, but it's starting to sweeten, but still has a little bit of a sharpness to the scent. I could get used to it personally because I'm a whiskey drinker. I like whiskey. But if I have to say for everyone else, like the typical people that would buy this, I don't think you would like it. The aroma. If you don't like Doctors, you would hate this. Like if you don't like going into Doctors because of this kind of injection, the numbing kind of smell that you get. If you're not a fan of that, you probably will hate this. Personally, not as strong as this maybe, but I like a fresh, clean, sterile kind of smell. I don't like too much of a sweet. I just like oh my days, like a clinical kind of a sterile kind of not like this. I'm trying to put it in a way that sounds normal, but I like clean like smells when you walk in and you say, oh yeah, it's not smelling like what the hell's that? You know what I mean? Like it's like mold or something, right? So it's nice to go into Doctors where it's kind of like it feels safe. Probably put that out weirdly. I like a little bit of smelling of antiseptic. But the flavour's quite nice. I like licorice in my herbal tea. It's just a stronger version of it, and it's a more mature flavour. There's a sweetness, licorice kind of flavour. Again, this was saying like aniseed, possibly clove, which you're picking up as well, and it's a mixture that's giving you that. And again, in relation to the woodiness, personally, I think it's all right. I think there's better whiskies out there. I wouldn't turn my nose up to it if someone went, here, would you like some of Laphroaig? I'll probably pronounce it wrong. Yeah, I can drink it. I wouldn't say, oh, it's horrible, that. It wouldn't be my go-to, but I could drink it, and I don't have an issue. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And the reason for it is more for the other people that are watching this. For me, it would probably be a 7, like for my personal, but I'm trying to take into consideration, even if you're a whiskey drinker or a new whiskey drinker, more sweeter ones, you may not like this as well. And I'm being kind of fair because there are a group of people that would probably dislike that kind of anesthetic kind of hospital-y kind of feel. So I think for them, they'll be like, you're way too nice on this. For the general, like they can see like a rich, sophisticated kind of palate to go through it. They might rate it higher, and I'm somewhere like it's good. I could buy it again, but it's not really my go-to. So I'm going to take all this into consideration. I think a lot of people may hate this. People that love whiskies will probably say this about maybe it's an 8. I wouldn't say a 9 or a 10. I'm talking about like people that really love. They'll probably say it as an 8, 7 at my point, as I do like whiskey. But because of that, it's definitely not like I think for people who hate it, it might be like a 3. To the very people like who really hate the anesthetics going to dentists, they'll probably be like, nah, that's a 0. But just being fair, I think the people who generally hate it would probably say, yeah, it's a 3. I mean, I can drink it like slightly, but I wouldn't want to buy it myself. I would probably just drink it if someone offered. The general the general people, if they wanted to experiment, they wanted to look past a strong kind of notes, they'll probably look at this as maybe it's a 5 or a 6. But considering there's like two ends of it, I would say this is going to be definitely 6.5. It's a little bit better than just a typical bleh. It's a 6.5 whiskey if you're willing to try and get to try just different flavors and different things. You might hate it when you've tried it, but it is one that is well worth trying at least once. So 6.5 out of 6.5 out of 10. If you disagree, if you've had this before, let me know. If you think I'm spot on, to be fair for the viewers and everyone else, like, to not knock it because people may hate it, and not give it too much because it's nice, rich, and all of that. If you think that's a fair score, let me know. If you think it's not, because you're very sophisticated with your palate, or if you think, no, that's horrible, no, I've had it before, because you hate it, let me know. Your views and opinions in the comment section below. If you've done a review on this, I'd love to know. In fact, I might even go up and after this look up some of the reviews on this, because I would love to see other people's opinions and see if I'm spot on with them. Again, people have different palates, but for me, I think I'm being very fair with this. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, select all notifications, strike the like, share the content, and all of the good stuff. Leave your views and opinions in the comment section below. 6.5 out of 10. Go have this and go chill, go relax, and I will see you guys later because I've got other streams to do. Peace.